I'm not a historian, but I can get interested, obsessively interested, with any aspect of the past, whether it's paleontology or archaeology or the very recent past. Penelope Lively. Here are the 25 most important archaeological discoveries in history. 25. Ashurbanipal's library at Nineveh was a center for learning. King Ashurbanipal ordered the collection of all written works in Mesopotamia, ending up with a library boasting over 30,000 inscribed clay tablets. This discovery revolutionized our understanding of multiple societies, including the Assyrians, Sumerians, and Babylonians. 24. An enormous temple complex found on Malta, Hajar-Im is one of the oldest religious sites on Earth. Demonstrating the ancients' intricate knowledge of the heavens, during sunrise on the summer solstice, a small ray of light passes through an elliptical hole in the stone to illuminate a slab in the chamber. 23. Massive carved boulders. The Olmec heads are up to 11.2 feet or 3.4 meters tall and weigh up to 50 tons. They're carved with flat noses, fleshy cheeks, and adorned with individualized headdresses. Such markings may reinforce their roles as leaders of the Olmec people who lived in Mexico's southeastern parts up to 3,000 years ago. 22. Much like the ancient Egyptians wanted to set their dead pharaohs up for a successful afterlife, Emperor Qin Shi was surrounded by thousands of clay soldiers, each sporting individual facial expressions and designs. With excavations on hold, Qin Shi's tomb has yet to be discovered, but up to 8,000 clay soldiers, horses, chariots, dancers, and musicians have been found around the site. 21. Likely able to house well over 20,000 people, initial excavations have found a massive underground city in Cappadocia, Turkey, complete with water channels, air shafts, wineries, chapels, kitchens, bedrooms, and more. Still under exploration, this tunneled city helped its inhabitants escape from danger on the surface level. Initial findings estimate the massive spaces could go down to 371 feet or 113 meters. 20. Found in a dried up lake bed, the Tomb of Sunken Skulls is a collection of 11 buried skulls, 2 of which had stakes through their craniums. The current hypothesis is that the nomadic hunter-gatherers of the area used the bed as a secondary grave once the dead's bodies decomposed. 19. Taking over 70 years and 20,000 men to build, Sacsayhuaman is a renowned archaeological discovery due to its design. Each stone fits together without any mortar or binding devices. They were cut so perfectly, not even a piece of paper can fit between them, even after hundreds of years. 18. Pompeii was an ancient Roman city located at the base of Mount Vesuvius. Buried under millions of tons of ash, Pompeii, its residents, and their possessions were magnificently preserved by the material. Found by archaeologists in 1748, the discovery sparked a renewed interest in ancient history. 17. Gobekli Tepe was initially dismissed as an irrelevant cemetery. German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt thought otherwise and quickly uncovered what he believed to be the world's first purpose-built cathedral on a hill. Scientists are still unearthing the area and learning about the people who lived there 11,000 years ago. 16. As recently as 2009, archaeologists found 54 decapitated skeletons with 51 skulls piled next to them in southern England. Believed to be Viking invaders from between 910 to 1030 AD, the men were likely overpowered by a group of Anglo-Saxons who piled their skulls together as a show of victory. 15. The most remote inhabited island on Earth, Easter Island was first settled by Polynesians in the 4th century and had 3,000 natives when the Spanish first arrived in 1770. The population was decimated to 111 inhabitants barely a century after this first census. Today, the island still has a permanent population, which is sustained primarily through tourism. 14. When the Antikythera Mechanism was found at the turn of the 20th century, scientists were unable to determine its purpose for another 70 years. At least 1500 years ahead of its time, it was an astronomical clock which precisely traced the movements of the heavens with rotating hands, interlocking gear wheels, and multiple dials. 13. Formerly used as a part of a theater's staircase, the Pilate Stone is the only widely accepted evidence of the existence of Pontius Pilate. Found in Caesarea Maritima, the stone's inscriptions date it to about 26 to 37 AD. Known for trying Jesus Christ, Pontius Pilate likely lived there, as it was the administrative capital of the area. 12. Originally hailed as a 2 millennia old example of early human ingenuity, the Baghdad Battery was believed to generate an electrical current, possibly for plating metal onto objects. That theory has been widely discredited, with modern archaeologists claiming the item was a vessel to store scrolls. 11. The Rosetta Stone unlocked our understanding of the ancient Egyptians. Finally allowing archaeologists to decipher hieroglyphics, it's been on display at London's British Museum since 1802. Since its discovery, other multilingual inscriptions have been found, thus making the stone not unique in itself beyond being the first one found. 10. About 30 years old when he died, the Gribble Man was found over 2,000 years later, nearly perfectly preserved. His corpse was found in a peat bog and has been dated to the 3rd century BC. Examining it, scientists believe he was a human sacrifice, as his throat was slit open from ear to ear. 9. Older than both Stonehenge and the Egyptian pyramids, Ireland's Newgrange is one of the most important megalithic structures in Europe. Built between 3000 to 2500 BC, the large circular mound has an interior chamber which is illuminated only on the winter solstice, and scientists believe it could have been a religious center. 8. An ancient city in Honduras, this discovery is so new, researchers still aren't sure to which civilization it belonged. The forested area around it is so dense that scientists are using laser technology to create topographical maps of the area. In order to keep looters away, the Honduran military is protecting this mysterious area of giant statues, irrigation channels, and homes, and researchers have yet to disclose its location. 7. Discovered in 2011, Genghis Khan's fortress in southwestern Mongolia enabled him to expand his empire further west towards Europe. 3 football fields in size, the fortress was a major garrison along Silk Road trade routes, which made it an important command post. 6. Sutton Hoo held an undisturbed ship burial, filled with artifacts which made this discovery feel like a gold mine. As little was known about this time period, this shed light on history which was previously based on myths and legends. 5. Sanxingdui was presumably abandoned because an earthquake between 3000 and 2800 years ago dammed up and rerouted the river, which was their primary source of water. Though the archaeologists believe the civilization may have moved to nearby Jinsha, the evidence is not all there, and we still don't entirely know who lived there. 4. Though most of the other tombs in the Valley of the Kings had been looted by grave robbers, King Tuts' tomb was primarily intact and gave us a brilliant window into the funerary rituals and way of life of the ancient Egyptians. 3. The Dead Sea Scrolls were found by a young goat herder in caves near Jericho. The scrolls, mostly in Hebrew, cover the history of over 500 years, including the birth of Jesus Christ and the rise of Christianity. One of the scrolls, the Copper Scroll, even directed scholars to dozens of other illuminating scrolls. 2. Located in northern Spain, the Cave of Altamira was a scientific anomaly when it was found. Its validity was debated for many decades, largely due to the high level of conservation and quality. When the drawings were finally acknowledged as authentic in 1902, the science world was rocked. Prior to, scientists believe humans of the time to be lacking the intellectual development to create art. 1. Located in northern Tanzania, the Olduvai Gorge holds evidence of our earliest human ancestry. Mary Leakey, a paleontologist, was continuing her work in the area when she came across Homo habilis, a hominid ancestor 2 million years old who likely used tools. Along with other discoveries in nearby countries and later ones at the site, it's become nearly irrefutable that humans evolved in Africa. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the top right corner so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 2 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.